Hi and welcome to my presentation on the Birmingham 6 case. I am studying policing and criminal investigation, so this will be my main focus. This presentation is focused on the key elements resulting in the police failure. The case begins on Thursday the 21st of November 1974. Around 8 p.m, the city centre of Birmingham received an anonymous phone call. This gave verbal warning of 2 bombs which had been planted. These bombs were in 2 pubs, the Mulberry Bush and the Tavern. However, there was no follow-up from the police, resulting in 21 innocent deaths and over 200 injured people. The scene across the city was very chaotic as only 15 officers were on duty. The police took no time in arresting and charging 6 innocent men. This is where the case gets its name from. My presentation is built from data collection based off other students' perspectives. The aim is to highlight the key factors surrounding the police and how they failed to protect the public and arrest those who felt guilty. To collect data from other students, I used a range of different softwares. To build an original survey, I worked with an online software called Qualtrics. This allowed me to gather thoughts and evidence to base my presentation off. The online software allowed open questions where students could have their say, as well as closed questions where it was a multiple choice answer. Another software used was Microsoft Excel. This allowed me to interpret the data into the questionnaire. Excel allowed me to use thematic coding and graph work. By using thematic coding, the gathered data was easily understood following from the coding. It allowed me to make a range of different graphs. The graphs explored were pie charts, line graphs, bar graphs, and histograms. By showing the data as graphs, it allowed an easier explanation and analysis. By targeting my fellow peers on a range of courses, for example PCI, FS, FI and criminology, there was many different perspectives and views on what went wrong for the Birmingham 6 case. The range of views allowed me to analyse the data efficiently. This slide looks at the important factors for the investigation. As shown above, I decided on a pie chart as this was the best way to represent the data. The bulk of votes focused on the RIA, falling at 38%. This suggests that the participants believe that it's the biggest call for investigation. This is because the police failed to arrest the men who actually committed the crime. Instead, they wrongly arrested and charged 6 innocent men. Another factor for this investigation by the participants looked at explosives. 13% of votes believe that it was an important factor. The bombs were planted and set off in 2 of Birmingham's busiest pubs. However, there was also a 3rd bomb which was discovered by the police. This was outside of Barclays Bank. However, this bomb did not explode. The question still stands of how the bombs were planted, as well as how the police failed to act upon the warning call. This slide focuses on the issues throughout the whole case, as not everything occurred on the one night. The main issue voted by the participants was forensic. This looks at missing evidence. The police failed to collect all of the evidence at one time. Later, this issue came into light. As forensic technology improved, it highlighted that the 6 men's arrests was wrong as they was innocent. As well as this, the improved technology allowed previous evidence to be shown as unreliable. Closely following this, the participants also voted on police brutality as another key issue in this case. Linking back to the original question, this would suggest that the police knew they had failed because they resorted to violence and pre-jury to get charges on all of those men. This would also connect to other participants' votes, as forced confessions would be down to police brutality. In conclusion, this bar chart suggests the issues raised in the case resulted in the police failing. To summarise and conclude this presentation, I will briefly discuss the methods and discussion overall. The methods used allowed me to gather and interpret data to show results. However, there was a lack of participants involved, which left room for failure and also showed that there was not a strong majority vote. The original question asked was, what are the key factors in this case resulting in the police failing? To answer this, it was clear that the lack of training provided to the police was not sufficient enough. They also failed to identify and arrest those behind it. Instead, the police ruined 6 innocent men's lives. Overall, the public was left with a lack of trust towards the police as they failed to fulfil their duties. To learn from this and prevent further incidents, the police need specific training on terrorism acts. This will allow an understanding, the public's protection, and a thorough investigation. Here are my references throughout the presentation.